This one is a much anticipated matchup, well, at least for me, because you're not even watching. Weeks 9 and 13 will face the freaking Dallas Cowboys, the so-called Super Bowl aspiration having NFC East dwelling rival. But we all know the truth, man. Let's be real. Let's be honest. Even if you're a Dallas fan, look yourself in the mirror and be honest with yourself. But we will evaluate those two games, chiefly the first one, but we'll also look into the second one and maybe what could be, with our schedule slated to be brutal around that time. But I still have us as the superior opponent. What's up, it's your boy Syndrome, coming at you with another analysis video, and I kid you not, that's my real name. And yeah, we're getting on to them Dallas Cowboys. So let's look at their roster and see. I didn't get caught about that. There's Malika Andrews, and I'm like, say on your network. Anyways, Dallas Cowboys. Let's start. I'm going to be laughing a lot, unprompted, unscripted, because it is just hilarious. But we start with one Dakota Rain Prescott, man. The guy was a pick magnet, a pick thrower. Last year, he was just giving away the ball. Had 15 interceptions in only, I think, 11 games played or something like that. Ridiculous. He tied for the league lead in interceptions thrown, and he's thrown like 13 or so at Kevin. I'm not kidding you, man. They subbed him off, put him on the bench the other day just, because he was throwing too many picks. And he was pissed off about it. I'm like, Dak, bro, be self-accountable, first of all. No one is to blame but yourself for being taken out of the game, for the offense to actually establish some rhythm, to actually be competent enough to get the defense in some quality reps. But, he's in his 8th season this year, age 30 season, and I don't see him, he's an old dog, and I don't see him, learning any new tricks. If he can optimize it, I think he can have a better season than he did, but he's been pressing again this offseason, and we'll get to some of his talent, but, I don't think it's enough. I think if he has superior talent, then, he can, he'll be lifted up, but I don't think he's the one to come in and rally everybody to lift all ties, to add a win or 2 or 3. Don't get me wrong, he's better than Cooper Rush, but he might not even be a top 10 quarterback in this league. So, it is what it is, but he, at this stage in his career, man, I think it's only going to be a slowly declining downward trajectory. Call me a hater if you want, but the stats show for themselves. Since he's been the quarterback, they've had 60 or 70 wins, but where has that gotten you guys? Just being honest. All right, Tony Pollard, I actually do like him out of Memphis. Memphis back we have in our stable, one Kenneth Gainwell. He's a talented guy. Broke his leg last year, but we'll see if that affects him, if he's able to knock off the rust. Shouldn't be any long-term lingering effects, but like I said, it will be interesting to see does he trust his leg in the early goings in the year, and if he's able to get going. And hopefully no setbacks. I never want to see anybody injured. Even when Dak broke his thumb, fractured, I didn't cheer for that. It was comical in the way it happened, but you want to face them at their full strength. We never did last season, each other, so Jalen was present for the first game, Dak wasn't, but Dak was in the second game and Jalen wasn't. So we'll see if things can align, the stars can align. Pause. I'm a Dallas fan. This year. CeeDee Lamb, he's a top 10 receiver. I'll give you that. He's not better than AJ Brown though. Let's just be honest. But he's a pretty good damn receiver. But he's also all they have, so that might be why he had the volume of catches, and he is the I would say pretty dependable, but he's pretty much all they got. But then they went out and got him someone like Brandon Cooks. We'll see if he's able to cook this season, but he's an older receiver. He is explosive guy, or highly explosive when he came into the league, running a 4.33. That being said, can he come in and make this offense transformative? I just don't see it. Michael Gallup gives them a good option on the boundary, but is Cooks then going to play majorly in the slot? I like that matchup with Devontae Maddox. We'll be going at it all day. I think Cooks would be better served on the outside, but then where does that place Gallup? I don't know if they've been trying him out in the slot, but I just don't like that formation of guys. It leaves them in kind of no man's land and having an odd man out. Schluttmacher, I think he's going to be the tight end over Jake Ferguson. Schumacher, I think what is his name. We see Jake Ferguson there, but he's inferior talent to that guy. But he's going to be a rookie. He's going to make some mistakes, and I don't think he's going to be elite this season. He might, if they wisely use him in like a red zone, might make him a specialist. And one thing, we'll see. But I like our chances. He's going to make his fair share of plays, I think. But we'll see. And week 9, how we're playing against tight ends. That'll also be telling. The alignment, I like. They have guys that have versatility. I'll give you that. But Tyron Smith hasn't been able to stay healthy. Tyler Smith took some lumps. Left tackle was getting better, but then they supplanted him again. So playing musical chairs with his position, I don't think that does a guy any good, any serve. They're not doing him a service by doing that. Play him at left tackle and let him grow into the position. Put Tyron at right tackle, but they got the heart set on that. Having to make an adjustment mid-season, I think that just hurts you guys' chances. Of stability. And that's what you want your line to gel. Tyler Bidaz, just a guy. Zach Martin, obviously, a Pro Bowler, All-Pro, still playing at a high level, but he's really the only high-level guy you have on that line. Terrence still a solid guy, but he's coming off an ACL injury, so this line can get worked. And we'll get to that a little bit later. Micah Parsons, obviously, all-world defensive end, defensive MVP candidate. MVP candidate, and defensive MVP candidate, but we were able to neutralize him last year. Are we gonna? I don't think we'll have the same effect. He's not gonna. I would say he's gonna have at least a sack or a couple of sacks against us, but we're still able to to be able to put him down. If he's going against Lane Johnson, I can just call that match. Shorty, it's Japanese for win. That's just what it's gonna be. Oza Odigizua, and they have Jonathan Hankins. Two guys that offer some upside, but they're not better than what we have. Mozzie Smith, a rookie, he's getting pushed around. He doesn't know how to use his body yet. Pause. Not gonna be anything more than decent. Gonna have maybe some spots where he shows that he's a first round talent, but he hasn't learned how to the ropes in the game yet. So I think he'll be inferior to Jalen Carter this year. DeMarcus Lawrence, a veteran, solid, but like I said, we were able to neutralize a lot of people last year. Leighton Van Der Esch, his neck even work. So he's even gonna be there by the end of the season. Linebackers, edge rushers, yes, sure, they have talent, and interior as well. They have talent, but off the middle of that defense might be where they're a little bit weaker. Stephen Gilmore, yeah, he's a good corner, even at 32. He's still a solid guy. How well will he be deployed? How well will he be used? Because he has some limitations, obviously, at this stage in his career. But how is he going to be able to gel with Trayvon Diggs? All signs in Cant point to him having a banner year, stellar year. But we still have dogs, man. We got dogs, and I'm excited for this matchup. I think more than anything, more than any other on the roster, to see how these two match up. Him and Trayvon Diggs, a guy who picks balls off, but he's trying to become more consistent. Will he be able to do that? We'll see. Deron Bland, because he got work last year by both guys. Deron Bland, how's he going to be against a guy like Olamide Zaccheaus? I think he would freak him nicely. Ooh, pause, big pause. But against Quez, he just outmuscled him out. That might be the guy that we go with, throw him at him to try and to win this power struggle. And Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker, Jaron Kearse, a nice trio of safeties, but they all lack for something. Donovan Wilson, he's decent in coverage. Hit more of a hitter. Malik Hooker, decent in coverage, but he can get outmuscled. And Jaron Kearse, he's a good mix between the two. So what they all play solid. And they get the 3 safety looks, but they're compensating for something on defense. So a guy like Dallas Goedert going to be able to work any of these guys, and he out physicals, out matches all of them. So it's a good matchup. Let's go through. Dak Prescott. I'm highly interested to see how he does against Sean Desai's defense, who's going to be able to adjust, who's going to show him different looks, and who's going to blitz him. And those three things that Jonathan Gannon didn't do, you're already in the winning as far as like having better odds, because he gave Dak too much respect. Just letting this guy go out there having a near damn career high in percentage completions. And it's meow energy. That's all it is. Tony Pollard, he's a versatile guy. He offers something as a receiver, so it'll be interesting who plays him, our linebackers or safeties. But I think Reed Blankenship might be a neutralizer against him. The mix of coverages and things like that. But in the run game, I like if we just play, we're disciplined. We'll see. We will see if they get exposed or not. CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks and Avonte Maddox. Michael Gallup going up against Avonte Maddox, maybe against Brandon Cooks, and Michael Gallup going against Bradbury, and then Slade taking CeeDee Lamb. I like those matchups, man. Maybe even sometimes switching Bradbury onto CeeDee Lamb. It gives us some great battles, and I think we'll win the majority of those battles. Gonna put pressure on that because this line, man, it's not the strongest. Tyron Smith be able to take advantage of his limited mobility and his age. Tyler Smith confused the young guy, and he's got to contend with guys like Fletcher Cox and Milton Williams and Jalen Carter, who are just and Jordan Davis, who are big and fast. Tyler Biadasz too, they get bowled over by maybe those same two guys, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. It's gonna be heavy battles. What I'm interested is to see who goes up against Zach Martin. They're gonna have their hands full, but he still can be had as well. And Terrence Steele, man, Son Reddick, I expect him to freak him, man. Pause. Run right past him, use him like a turnstile. I expect us to dominate their O line. Just no questions, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Micah Parsons. I expect our line, these guys, just like I said, they're all good. He has great speed, but the way we dealt with him by making him overloading him, making him make split decisions and giving him two-way goes, just he ran himself out of the play. We didn't have to even block him at times because he played right into our hands. Right, he did right what we wanted him to do. So dealing with him in smart, intelligent ways, using his speed against him, and just taking advantage of the size advantage. But we have with like Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata. He has speed, of course. Yeah, it's a big threat, but it's gonna be hard, for him to have a great amount of success against us and these other guys as well. We played with great technique on the line and the O line, and I expect us to give them all that they can handle and more. Same with the linebackers. Like Leighton Van Der, she's limited in coverage, and he's gonna be healthy. He's gonna be able to fill the gaps. I think he'll make a few plays here and there, but for the most part, I expect us to do him in. Let's see, like center, getting up to the second level, or like guards, destroying him. Like this, like I said, this is the most concerning, you could say, or like highly anticipated matchup. Stephen Gilmore and Trayvon Diggs against AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. Like I said, Trayvon Diggs, I'm not worried about him, even though I know he's maybe improved this year. But Devonta Smith and AJ Brown, they out physicaled him, and they just made him look like a fool in coverage last year. And Stephon Gilmore, I expect him to be solid, but we also were we were able to be highly competitive against him last year in the Colts game. And those two guys in tandem, yeah, sure, tough, but it's going to be interesting how we use our third receiver, our fourth receiver, whether it's Quez Watkins or Olamide Zaccheaus. We're going to be able to overload and flood these guys. And then Dallas Goedert might be the chess piece in this matchup, how we deploy him and use him, because he already was a good a great route runner last year. He got even better this offseason, running routes with the receivers and, his footwork, his durability. He's not being freaking illegally tackled. Toughness, speed, ability to get skinny through the hole. Just burst. Just, if they're not elite, they're borderline elite in those talents he has. So I think he's going to be, the game breaker for us. And these safeties aren't going to be able to cover him. And, we made them look like fools in coverage last year as well. So I'm expecting, us to have the advantage in both matchups. And injuries will come into play. Who's going to be injured? Who's going to be hurt? But, man, our roster goes toe-to-toe with theirs. And then some because, like I said, the weaknesses. O-line, going to be able to attack it. Like I said, their D-line is good, but we just have the better unit. So I expect those to be the big deciding factors in the game. So, I don't think that Jalen Tolbert is going to provide that much this year. What's the depth behind Tony Pollard? And they have maybe the second best roster, but there's still quite a sizable chasm in between these two teams, whether the Dallas Cowboys want to admit it or not. And like I said, it'll be interesting to see how this gauntlet goes, because they kick off a gauntlet, for us playing, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Bills, the 49ers, the Cowboys, and ending with the Seahawks. So the second to last game, it's going to be interesting to see how we go during the stretch. Is it 4-2? Is it 3-3? Is it 5-1? Or is it 6-0? We very, very well could go 6-0, but I would say more likely maybe 4-2 would be realistic. Beat the Cowboys. Let's say we lose to the Chiefs. Beat the Bills. Beat the 49ers. Maybe lose to the Cowboys and then beat the Seahawks. Or it could be some other opponents. But this game is at home. This one's on the road. This one is at home. I think this one is at home. Home, road. Home, road, road. And then home, road. So, that's going to be an interesting build-up to those games and seeing how their schedule is. I don't know how it shakes out for them, but I think towards the end of the year, they have a tougher schedule. In the beginning, I think it's easier for them. So, like I said, there's a lot of things that factor into that. We're going to look at a couple of things here. 10 thoughts on the Eagles' first 2 preseason games. So, see this guy here. We're going to talk about him quite a bit. I hope I never see Marcus Mariota on the field again, even in a blowout. We're going to see him. So, just get that thought out of your head. This dude, I don't know who this was, but they were quite the hater. Dave Mangles. Just the tone throughout the whole article. Just like, bro, pump your brakes. Chill. If you're an op, just say that, man. Just, no need to masquerade. Who cares? As long as you can give factual information, I don't give a damn. But keep your personal feelings out of it. Tanner McKee, on the other hand, he looks like a guy that, could fill the number 3 spot. Let's be real, though. He's placed in vanilla defenses, guys who aren't going to be on teams or on practice squads or backing up starters. So we don't really know what we have in him. But as a starter pack, it's looking like a pretty good DLC. It's only preseason, but the defense looks like ass. They're not showing anything. You can, they don't want to have any tells, especially in the first quarter of the season. Teams are just going to be finding out what we are, what we do, who we play, how we deploy. It's things that maybe send a slider to one side, and maybe we could flip-flop the next 4 games. So show them something completely different. This defense is going to unfold over the course of 17 games. We're not going to just have a game. Hey, this is what we're doing this season. Why the fuck would we do that? So this is just unintelligent, and it just shows that you're not really putting a lot of deep thought into this. So I'm like, who cares if we look bad? Or like Zach Cunningham came in and was already playing, and then he played deep into the game, because we haven't seen him. We don't know what he is. We don't need to see some other guys. We know the level of their talent, their ability. Because they've been with us for years. We know their mental acumen. We don't know his. So, it's just wild. Even if Nick Sirianni saw him in the NFC South, the AFC South, sorry, with the Titans and with the Houston Texans. But still, this is a new system for him. We need to see what he can do. So, Nicholas Morrow's gone from starter to bubble to backup. Yeah, that's just the level of his talent. Christian Ellis, now he's got a real chance to start. The dude, just watch the film, man. He pops. Like, not all the time, but he pops. He's on an upward trend. I mean, if you can't see those type of things, you're just doing it, writing this to make a name for yourself or to try and get some kind of press clippings. Like, it's dumb. Or get some, I guess, say, inertia or some movement. Yeah. You're looking like a bowel movement. All right, Great Britain. Yeah, man, we know that he's not the best. He was solid. He did improve. But as a receiver, we know he offers little to nothing. So, yes, it's a position that's upgradable, but Howie hasn't put a huge premium on it, so we got to roll with what we have. And one of those 5th to 6th receivers can make a name for themselves, but we also might have to let them develop and see what it is. Because Tyler Cleveland, I like him. Johnny King, I like them. That's 6 receivers. And why wouldn't you? They offer, some level of talent with, some level of potential, but it's not going to be as great as 1, 2, 3, or 4. And that's what essentially a 6th or 5th guy is. A guy with limited upside or questionable upside because we just don't know, or it's been defined what they are. Like Greg Ward, we know what he is. He can be dependable, but I think Greg Ward could do better than expected with us because of the other guys that teams have to focus on. He can be a bonjin or or they say in Japanese, an average guy, and still excel because other guys are taken away so that he can't shine. All right, Morrow. Yeah, we need more Morrow. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I think he makes the roster as a 6th guy, and he'll get the time that he's allotted. But we have 5 guys in front of him that, are more talented at this time and point and juncture. Finally get to see Sidney Brown in there. Yeah, sure, but the guy he had to get his bearings. We didn't just want to throw him into the fire, destroy his confidence, and have him regress as he went along, or loses himself while he second guesses himself and doubts himself. You want to get the hamster wheel rolling and then put the ball in there so it can get some spin, not start it from the beginning and have it clang, clang, clang around. It's going to take damage. All right, logjam at receiver. And not really, man. Like I said, we have some guys there, and the premium will rise to the top. And it might just, like I said, be in a crisis. Like someone has to, we need, AJ has to sit out a couple weeks or something like that. God forbid, of course. But then, we bring up a guy or two and we find out what we have. Like maybe a Travis Fulgham. You never know. I'm not saying anyone has that, potential to make that type of impact, but we will see. And depth, I like it on the O-line, and we have guys that can play tackle and guard. I don't know if Dennis Kelly makes this roster now, but I like Steen. I like what he's shown, the versatility, and he actually might be able to play tackle on the outside in this league, contrary to most people's popular opinion. And guys who, maybe on the practice squad, Andrews, he might not make the roster, but he'll be a valuable call-up if and when we'll see. Whoa, pause. I'm speaking out of my ass right now. If we were to suffer a Jason Kelsey or a Cam Jurgens, and then we have to shift and bring in guys that have potential backup potential. All right, Jalen Carter is prepared. Yeah, he was saying he embarrassed Georgia Tech, and he was like, what are y'all even doing in the game? Y'all ain't prepared. Like, damn. More than any trash talk, that would cut straight my soul. Like, man, there was opportunity. I mean, maybe it wouldn't have been, 45. Maybe it would have been 21-7 or something like that. But still, we could have been better. That just cuts deep, especially when it rings true. Accountability does. It hurts when you haven't been accountable. But anyways, that ends our article. That ends our time here. You're not even watching though, but like I said, I always say this. I love talking about the Eagles. I really do for free. Just making a smidge of money, but who cares? If you like it, hey. You don't, let me know down below, and then we can talk and argue about it. Anyways, let's get up out of here. But as I always say, It's fly, Eagles, fly, and let's motherfucking go. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like. Thanks for watching. Check me out at Centron Anime, Centron Life, or Centron Laughs, or other social media.